We're back looking at plays. We love looking at plays. We love getting better as basketball officials. Now, the season's winding down. There's playoffs, right? In critical games, right? We will always want to prepare ourselves for these situations and be our best. One of the ways we prepare is we look at plays to get better as basketball officials. That's what we're doing. How many? 5. Stick around. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back. 5 Play Friday. My name's Greg. I'm Greg Austin with A Better Official. We craft video to help basketball officials get better so they can take control of their officiating career. One of the ways is we look at plays, look at all of the things, and what we want to do is call the obvious. Can we call the obvious on play number 1? A you make the call play. Let's take a look. Play number 1. All right, a play where everybody knows. Everybody knows. Do you know? Do you know? What's your ruling on this play? Did our crew get it right? No call, correct? No call, incorrect? Put your ruling in the comments and stick around to the end of the video where we'll look at all of the things on play number 1. With that, let's move on. Play number 2.
You know, I'm going to just tell you, you walk around at a Harrisburg game and all their parents are taller than our parents, Sam. Not near as good as looking as us, but
something in the water down there?
Yeah, no, just a lot of really good athletes in Harrisburg. Great school district. No, everyone knows that. And yeah, they've done a great job with a lot of really good players.
What's the call here?
We got a phantom 3-second call by Cadwell. Cadwell.
Okay, in our continuing saga of officials misinterpreting the rules tweak this year in National Federation of High School that says that a player may voluntarily leave the court and then may return to the court it would be a legal play, whereas it used to be illegal unless they are the first to touch the basketball. This does not apply to throw-in situations. It does not apply to situations where a player is out of bounds legally, such as during a throw-in or after a play where momentum has taken them off of the court. That player may return to the court without restriction. Now, we do know that a player may not, after they have been out of bounds legally, may not deceitfully delay their return. If they deceitfully delay their return, such as wait, run out of bounds to the other side, or, a screen frees them up, they're wide open in the corner, etc., then that player is at risk for a player technical foul. This is not a violation, right? You have to understand this. So many officials get hung up on the language in the new rules modification that says may not be the first to return to the court. This does not apply in a throw-in situation. We have to get these plays right. When we misapply rules, of course, we also do so as a crew. So we have to look at these situations as a crew and get plays right. Now, this is at the very start of the game. We could have a simple conversation as a crew on a play. We want to get plays right. We want to understand the rules. We want to be best for the game in key moments for the game. But having an understanding of the rules is critical. It's critical. Yeah. You know what else is critical? The fact that we have tremendous show supporters. Who is up on the show supporter big board fueling our broadcast? Paul Figlia, Lane Buchanan, Stann Whipple, Gabriel Scott, and Mark Stoll. Much appreciated. Much love. If you want to be a show supporter, there's a link on the screen. It's in all the usual places. Show description, first pinned comment, and right up here by the faint logo up above. Awesome. Let's move on. Let's look at our next play.
6:38 to go. They reset the shot clock. We're good to go. 41-40. Eagles have not been able to hold a lead. They get some momentum, and now Mackenzie Papp with a steal, lobs it ahead on her, and that's an intentional foul. That's got to be an intentional foul. You can't just shove somebody in the back. Never was going for the ball at all. The Southwest crowd is adamant. The officials are getting together. It was just a full forearm shiver. It's on Genegas. .638.
Okay. So, we always want to be sensitive to the game that we have. We have a 1-point game, 6 minutes remaining in the game, super competitive game, etc. We want to do what's right for the game. But when plays reveal themselves to be obvious, we have to go with the obvious in this situation. This is not a shooting foul in this instance. This is obviously a two-hand shove in the back on a player about to make a layup. This has to be ruled an intentional foul. Sometimes we want to sort of protect the game, or we're not sure about what to do in a situation. Like if we gave an intentional foul, would we not count the basket on the play? Or we can overthink things, right? Call the obvious. This player reaches out, two hands behind in the back. This is an intentional foul, and we have to make that ruling. Now, had this player begun their habitual throwing motion? Would we score the goal? What's the penalty in this situation if we did rule a intentional foul, right? An intentional foul, as we know, an intentional foul is always 2 free throws to the offended player and the ball to the team at the spot nearest the foul. The one exception is on a 3-point attempt. If the try is missed, then in that one instance, it would be 3 free throws and the ball to the team at the spot, right? So in this situation, our correct ruling should have been intentional foul, score the goal, 2 free throws, ball to the team at the spot nearest the foul. Yeah. I mean, let's call the obvious. Hey, that play came in from Chris Janish. Chris, much appreciated. If you want to supply a play to 5 Play Friday, even as we approach the end of the season, here's a link on the screen. It's in the show description. First pinned comment and move over logo up above. Awesome. Let's move on. Next play.
Seconds left in this overtime. Lincoln 36, Roosevelt 33, Rough Riders with the ball. Stolen by Adler. Adler crosses the court. There's a foul on the Rough Riders. It's going to be a technical.
All right, so key to this scenario is we're obviously in overtime of the game. There's 16 seconds remaining. Team is down 3 points. The ball is taken away. We must foul to stop the clock. Players in this instance do not always know they have to show the discipline necessary. They kind of lose their mind for a moment, and we get the two-hand shove in the back. Now we have a play I think everybody can agree on should be ruled an intentional foul, right? The player reaches out, shoves the player. Simple and straightforward. More obvious on this play, right? But let's also look at the habits, because oftentimes when we have an intentional foul in the game, we fail to do some things that are necessary. Now, obviously, this is a critical point of this game. Let's say our player in this instance missed both free throws, right? Our throw-in spot could be critical in this situation. If we always get in the habit of taking care of all of the business, that player has the intentional foul. That player is our shooter, and this is where we will resume the game. If we don't take care of that, we come out of this situation maybe, and we're like, oh, hey, where should we bring it in, right? So this player was fouled in the backcourt. It should be a backcourt throw-in. Is that the biggest deal? No, but the habits and fundamentals we display here will come back and bite us if we don't emphasize doing the correct thing each and every time. The ball is dead, an intentional foul is being ruled. Let's communicate as a crew exactly what is going to happen next so that we've taken care of all of the business, right? Now, we know that in desperate times, players will take desperate actions. We have to recognize that in this situation. Sometimes players will just make mistakes, as they do in this situation. Two-hand shove, it's obvious. They just wanted to take foul, but we have to rule intentional in this situation. It's just the way it is. All right, two-hand shoves in the back. Will I screw up this one? Let's take a look. All right. Did I take away the basket? Yes, I did. Right? So, first of all, obviously, our old trail, new lead, ball's going the other direction, right? We have to make a decision in this instance. Are we going to get out of the way game? If the new lead attempts to run away, get to the end line, they're going to be in the way of this play. Not only is it coming at them, but it's near the sideline. And so you have to make a decision. In this instance, our new lead steps off of the court and comes from behind on the play, has an open look on the play. But let's look at all the things. Obvious two-hand shove in the back here, right? The player had not yet gathered the basketball on their way to habitual throwing motion, and our official rules no goal, intentional foul, 2 free throws, right? We've got business to take care of at the spot. We can confer with other officials. What do I have? I've got a foul on black 10, intentional. This player is going to shoot 2, and then we're going to come in at this spot, etc. If we get in the habit of doing all of those things, we're better off in the long run, right? The game assumed that we would take the ball at the division line. The white team actually was setting up a play there, and then the coach asked, where are we going to get the ball, right? We We want people to know what's going to happen next in the game. So should we have awarded the goal in this instance, right? Obviously not the best angle to determine whether the player had begun their habitual throwing motion. But let's take a look, right? So you've made a decision as new lead. You have to fight for an open look. You know, the button hook, the classic button hook here. Open look on the play, right? We have the shove while the player is still dribbling, but as they're about to gather, Of course, if we did rule that the player had begun their throwing motion, score the goal, there would still be 2 free throws and the ball. But in this instance, we're clear. We're clear what we have. We have an intentional foul. We have no goal. This player will shoot. This is where we will resume play, right? Take care of all of the business at the spot, and we could try to avoid confusion in the game, have clarity. We do see on the play the dreaded look back, though. Even after saying I've got black 10 with the intentional, when we go to the table, there's a momentary lapse. But we want to be clear in these situations when they present themselves. 2-hand shove in the back on a player going to the basket. That's going to be intentional every single time. Yeah, we want to get those plays right. Time for a bonus play. Let's take a look. Last second shot. What do we have? All right, we're at a disadvantage here. There's no lights on the backboard. There's no clock inset. So all we have is the audio of the horn on this play. But let's look habits and fundamentals on the play. First of all, we have to recognize we are opposite the table in a last-second situation. Of course, our graphic here at the bottom does nothing for us as well, right? We need to be the ruling official on a final shot. Let's go here, right? Ball goes in. What does the official do? Look at the clock, right? We need that information to know, right? We don't have the clock in front of us. There's no clock on the backboard. We need to know what we're looking at here in this situation. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, etc. It's going to affect how we approach the situation. Fight for a look, and emphatic, right? If you have the ball in the hand, right, we need to come emphatically, and the situation will determine how much energy we need to bring. If everybody in the gym thinks that we're going to score the goal, all the stakeholders, the team, the player, etc., maybe we're more emphatic, but we cannot be clear. If the ball is in the hand and the horn sounds, that shot is over. Right? And we need to come strong. Clarity. Yeah, bendy. Yeah, I wish we had the clock inset on that play, but that's what we have. We want to get those plays right. We want to be emphatic when appropriate. Maybe do a little bit extra if the game situation tells us, hey, this needs a little more energy. We can't just be passive. Relax, or wait for the ball to go in and say, oh, no, that wasn't a shot, etc. In a situation where the ball is in the hand, right, and the horn sounds, you have to go strong, right? Some officials will say, don't even look at the basket, look away, look towards the table, etc. But we don't want is to be certain with our actions. We want to emphasize the fact that we are killing this play. There is no shot on the play. Hey, back at the start of the show, we had that play. You know that one. Let's take a look back at play number 1. All right, when we get into intense games, high-profile games, games with a lot of energy in the building, and we have a no call on a play, what do we expect? And what do we expect to have happen on this play? There is an explosion of energy. Now, this was by the visitors, or by the home team, so not going to be the same. But there's going to be an explosion of energy. The coach on the other team is going to lose their mind. How can you not call that? That's so obvious, right? But we have to have resolve to get plays right in this situation and not react when something, happens that is like, super, gangly player could not be more gangly, and they're doing all this footwork stuff, etc., right? We have to have resolve and strength to look at the play and make the accurate ruling, and that's exactly what this crew does. Both our trail and our lead, great whistle discipline, recognizing that when this player in the post tries to catch the ball, it's deflected by a defender, it's loose, they are not holding the basketball. If you are not holding the basketball, you cannot travel until you are holding the basketball. Once he catches the basketball, even though it's in an awkward position and his non-pivot foot continues to move, right? He is legal. This player is legal, despite what everybody in the gym thinks. And we have to have that strength and discipline as a crew in key moments, right? And not react to plays. Now, one of the things when people send me clips or they send me a link to a game, I'll look at the preceding the play, etc. And when a crew shows they have strength, confidence, and that they are going to take care of the game, it jumps off. It jumps off the screen, and that's what you want in your game. You want to project a sense of, we have this taken care of. And our crew does a great job of this on this play. Now, in addition, we have this dunk, right, and a turn by the player in the direction of an opponent and gives out a primal scream, etc. But it resolves very quickly, right? Is this something that we need to address? When players have an emotional outburst as a result of a play, right? That is part of the game. We do not want taunts directed at an opponent, right? We have to evaluate the situation for what it is, the energy in the game, all the things. To me, this does not rise. We recognize that what is happening here, but we also recognize the player immediately resolves out of that. It's not, that is on you. It's more, I feel really good about what I just accomplished, right? So we want to have that strength as well to recognize and allow the emotional aspects of the game to continue. So takeaways. Be great as a crew. Have great whistle discipline. Don't react to plays that look funny. Make determinations based on what is legal, what is not legal. Call the obvious. Even if the gym thinks that this is an obvious play, we know. Left foot pivot coach, legal, right? And expect the energy that comes from the participants and the stakeholders and all of the fans. We expect that energy. We embrace it. We enjoy it, right? It's in intense situations, we want to absorb pain, absorb pushback, because we are doing what's right for the game. Well, it's obvious that I must thank you for sticking around to the end of the video today. Much appreciated. If this is the video content you find valuable as a basketball official, I have one ask. Just simply hit the like button. It really helps us out. Helps get the 5 Play Friday in front of more officials, and we can all get better together. What else I have an ask is to allow me a moment to thank our tremendous show supporters who help fuel our broadcast. Who is on the show supporter big board today? Paul Figlia is on the board. Lane Buchanan and Stann Whipple, Gabriel Scott, and Mark Stoll. Much appreciated, much love. Yes, 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 and yes. Hey, additional video content is available here. Additional training opportunity is available here. Take advantage of that, and we'll see you all in the very next episode. Take care, everybody.